are on India Today Podcasts and you are in the Sledging Room. All right, we're rolling for the Indian Premier League 2023. Goodness, it's been, 15 years now? 2008. Yeah. 2008 was when the first IPL was played on the 18th of April. Do you remember what were you doing that day?
I think I was rushing to get my set-top box installed, and I think that was the time when these cable TVs were going away due to some government directive and all that, and then we had to get set-top box to watch a few sports channels and all that.
Yeah.
I think I blackmailed my father into buying me the set-top box.
Didn't you tell me the story for some World Cup related?
No, proper IPL. Yeah.
And you were in Chennai?
Yeah, I was in Chennai. Like, I was supporting... back then I was supporting Mumbai Indians.
Why?
For Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, okay.
So, but they didn't have a good season.
When did you turn to your home team? What a bunch of liars. I mean, you are...
Unbiased IPL
Everybody knows you are a liar.
Yeah.
Out comes that yellow jersey.
Says the man who has worn a proper red shirt and a
this
black shoe.
This is not red. Are you blind?
Can we show the shoe on the podcast?
No, I can't. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Put your legs.
No.
So, you were...
This is not...
Raj,
this is red. Obviously, our listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I'm wearing a maroon shirt for everybody who can watch us.
This is properly RCB's jersey.
That's red. What? You need... Anyway, you're colorblind.
All that.
You're colorblind.
But agenda that you peddle.
I don't know much about color
I want to give the listeners a disclaimer.
What?
Over the last 5-6 months, over the last 40 episodes, Raj was peddling agenda. No, not peddling agenda.
Okay.
Raj was critical of Virat Kohli. Sometimes unnecessarily
in the T20
critical.
format. In the T20 format.
But over the next 8 weeks, you will see the fanboy coming out.
What fanboy?
You've always been a fanboy, and this time we had a discussion in the team.
Kohli, I mean,
we had a discussion in the team. Rajarshi, our boss, said that he will pick up the preview for the RCB, but he gave us some reason which we didn't believe yesterday, and said that I am not going to write this. Why he didn't want to write this is over the last 14 years, 15 years of the IPL, he has written the previews for RCB.
Not just
wherever
RCB.
he worked. Yeah,
not just
and
RCB.
he has jinxed them properly. But this time, he wants Virat Kohli and RCB to lift the title. That's why he pulled out of writing that preview saying that he had some back pain and all that. Which, I don't know how much of it is true.
That's a bunch of nonsense. I have the doctor's prescription to tell me that I'm in fact writhing in pain right now.
Yeah.
But
and
as far as
RCB... Watching us on video can figure that out as well, right?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to. I mean, I did one show earlier today and I tried not to show. I mean, it's okay. It's
like how
if Tendulkar could play through that kind of pain in Chennai against Pakistan, why can't I brave some of it for a podcast? But I don't care who does what. It's just that, like I said, I have been in Bangalore State. I've worked there for a year and I've seen from close quarters the kind of fandom that RCB brags of, and I just feel sorry for the fans. And their RCB fans, I think, are among the most loyal in the world. 15 editions of not winning the IPL, but those fans don't give up.
Some of the RCB
at least
fans,
you guys have, in Chennai, you've won 4 titles. You won the Champions League T20 when the tournament was still in vogue. But for RCB, it's crazy.
But to chant RCB during test matches in Chennai Swami
it's the IPL era. What do you do?
That is something that irks the traditionalists, is it?
What do you do? I mean, people still chant Sachin.
Yeah, that's a different emotion.
That's okay. But that's emotion. I mean, what do you do?
Steve Smith is hitting you all over the park.
No, that's okay. I mean, you can't...
By the way, getting back to that, you asked me not to ask this question before the start of the podcast. What were you doing before the first match of the IPL started?
I was given a day off. It was my first month into the industry, I remember. I was away somewhere.
Yeah.
Where you're not going to push me to a corner to reveal that. But it was, looking back at that day, it's crazy to see what was unfolding on TV because none of us knew what sort of a tournament it would become. Some people had been, I wouldn't say critical, but a little skeptical to understand how it would pan out. But how did that work out? Look at the IPL today, right? I think this is the greatest cricket a T20 event in the world.
There was genuine excitement, right?
There was excitement. There was excitement.
So we were doing. Yeah. I think I was in my school.
Yeah.
12th or 10th, I forgot.
Yeah.
But even among friends, we were like excited to see all these big names like Gail, McCallum playing together. Saurav Ganguly and Sachin Tendulkar not playing together.
I think that's the first thing that struck me, Akshay.
Yes.
Shoaib Akhtar, Saurav Ganguly, Ricky Ponting in the same side.
Yes.
I remember RCB, they were, branded as a test team.
Yes.
Right?
Kumble, Ross Taylor.
Mark Boucher, I think, was part of RCB.
Yeah.
And then in comes Brendan McCullum, the very first match of the IPL.
Which happened in Chinnaswamy, which happened at the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
And it was just mayhem. It was complete mayhem, and I hadn't been to Bangalore before that. I hadn't been to the Chinnaswamy Stadium before that. I went, I realized it's a really short, small ground. But even then, it's not easy. And the kind of attack that he was up against. And to just dictate terms from the ball go. But obviously, KKR didn't do well. RCB had a horrible year. Deccan Chargers, back then, the team from Hyderabad, ended up doing pretty poorly. But
people wrote off Rajasthan Royal.
Nobody took them seriously until they started showing that spunk. Shane Warne's captaincy, Swapnil Asnotkar, all those guys, right? So that was terrific to see. And now, today, you're talking of IPL billionaires and the kind of money these people are making. And I think it's a great event. The IPL has often been a soft target.
Yeah.
But I think it's
we've discussed that in the past.
We've discussed that in the past. It's a great property. I mean, look at what it has done for Indian cricket and for international cricket at large.
Yeah.
It's given livelihoods to so many cricketers. Forget just cricketers, by the way. So many other subsidiary industry. So much has come up. So I think, boy, we should be proud.
It has given ICC titles to teams like England.
Yes. Ironically, the last time India won the T20 World Cup was before the IPL even started.
IPL,
So it's just immense. And kudos to BCCI again.
Yeah.
I know sometimes it's in fashion to criticize the administration, the governance, but kudos to BCCI for pulling up what they're doing year after year after year. We saw the media rights last year, and the media rights for the Women's Premier League, by the way, ended brilliantly with Mumbai Indians winning the title.
Yes.
Same fate for RCB. Sorry, RCB fans, but gosh.
Yeah. Chris Gayle a couple of weeks ago
thankfully
said
for RCB, CSK don't have a WPL team. Otherwise, he wouldn't come back even.
Exactly.
I mean,
but it's a running joke now about RCB.
Yeah, it's crazy. Thankfully, we're not in Bangalore when we're talking about this, and I hope you're not planning a quick visit to Bangalore.
No,
Are you?
No.
I mean, I have some great friends. I mean,
of course,
amazing friends there in Bangalore.
But I think Bengaluru fans themselves would, make good-hearted.
I don't know. Will they?
Fun.
They're extremely passionate. I mean, some of the RCB
but year
players
after year. And they've said the cursed word also this time. None other than AB de Villiers. During that RCB unbox event over the weekend, he said, Isala Cup Nam. Not many people were happy when he said that. Because that's being looked at as a curse.
Is it like how I start writing a Virat Kohli 100 copy and then boom?
Exactly.
Or when I mention that, look, he's looking good for 100 and he goes out
at
for
least your odds of cursing the things are better than Isala Cup Namde, I think. What I meant to say is that Isala Cup Namde is the most threatening curse. And AB de Villiers has said this, I don't know.
No, but watch out for my curtain raiser on the IPL.
Yeah.
We did a show last week and then...
You'll make up for not writing about RCB.
I will not jinx anybody.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I want RCB to win the title. It's just going to be such a story to tell.
Yeah.
But talking of stories, it's Kohli, Rohit, all of these guys will be under a bit of pressure, you reckon? Because last year, MI Horror finished last in the points table. RCB, Virat Kohli really struggled, but the others stepped up. Rajat Patidar, again, we don't know whether he'll be available, when he'll be available.
Yeah. At least for the first
half,
might be
for the 6-7 matches, he'll probably not be around. He won't be around.
Yeah.
Faf du Plessis felt, we were discussing that earlier today, might have was probably missing someone like Ruturaj Gaikwad when he opened with him in Chennai, coming to Bangalore. He's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
It's those injury concerns and more specifically on these guys. For a moment, let's just cast aside MI, CSK, GT, Lucknow, RCB. Let's talk about Indian cricket because that is the thing that excites me about the IPL. Whatever rubbish it is about me jinxing RCB or not.
Yeah.
But what I want to see is how the stars progress and how the youngsters or those knocking on the door, how they shape up.
Like Raj, we have already, I think head coach Rahul Dravid mentioned in a press conference during the ODI series against Australia that India have zeroed in on kind of 17, 18 players for the World Cup. So if you have...
See that before 6 months before the World Cup. He said that last year also.
Yes. I think him or Rohit Sharma, one of them said it
Somebody
last
said
year,
it. I mean...
From the team management, yes. But on the flip side, if you have identified 17, 18 people for the World Cup, then that gives them a license to do whatever they want in the IPL, right? For instance, people like Virat Kohli, people like Rohit Sharma can push themselves a little more. Like over the last few years, if we had seen, the major concern about someone like Virat Kohli is his strike rate.
The problem is, Akshay, with that. I mean, ideally, in an ideal world, yes. But, you've seen what happens in the IPL. It's impossible for a player to, unless he's genuinely injured. I don't think they'll use the IPL to rest.
No.
Rohit Sharma said that the franchisees now own the players. It's up to the franchisee. And I don't think any franchisee... I get that. I get that, I don't think it's...
He even mentioned one more following statement where he said that it's up to the players to rest for a couple of games if they want, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's said, okay. You understand that. But probably it's also up to the players to go to the franchise and say that, look, maybe I don't know whether that is possible, but, maybe I want to recommend it. Just with Bumrah, for instance. He couldn't have taken the field.
Yeah. Of
right?
course.
My grudge is when players pull out of those India matches.
And for instance, someone like Mitchell Starc can do it, even for the BBL.
Yeah, but
is BBL as big a property as IPL?
It is not. It is not. But that's not the point. The point is the players also have to prioritize.
Yeah, but should that matter? I was coming to say whether BBL being a lesser property that gives them the license for the Australian players to pull out.
First off, now the IPL has reached a stage where it's unfair to compare any other T20 property and dare I say even the T20 World Cup. I mean, obviously the T20 World Cup is huge. It's a great honor to win it. Great for England that they did it. Still disappointed as Indian fans that we couldn't get that trophy home. But it's the size and the scope of the IPL, the money, the glitz, the cricketers, the kind of cricket that you get to see. I don't think any other T20 league compares with the IPL. Having said
trophies don't matter, Raj. Only respect in the dressing room.
And you have to be a good human being. Well, that is as important as that is. But my point is... Will you get to see that kind? But what are you talking about, Akshay?
That should give them the license to push, I think.
But what license?
If you know that your IPL performances will not matter in the larger context of the game.
It wouldn't anyway matter for
someone like Virat.
But what you'd want to see, Akshay, is ideally whether Rohit and Kohli and a lot of these big guns can bounce back from the disappointment of last season. What I also want to see is whether these guys, because see, Rohit Sharma, you'd probably realize that he'd be under pressure after the last season.
Yes.
Virat Kohli, is he going to just go for those runs? Or he's going to look at his strike rate as well, the rate at which he's scoring? For me, that is important.
Someone like Virat Kohli, I would be very happy if someone like Virat Kohli plays according to the need of the team this year. Over the last couple of years, even if I may sound harsh, I'll say that he was not doing that.
No. Last year he clearly looked like he wanted to just play for himself because of the lack of confidence. And those runs that he got, what was it? One of those half centuries was the slowest ever for him in the IPL.
And his strike rate hovered around 110.
I mean, you could understand that last year because you want to get runs as well. I mean, Pele run with strike rate, right? So,
but when KL Rahul does this, we all train our guns.
It is not just about KL Rahul. It is also about the Indian batting mentality. When you say that strike rate is overrated, it is, why should it be overrated? Somebody is saying that, it doesn't matter if you're chasing 160, you don't need to bat at a strike. If you're chasing 160 at 8 runs and over, you don't need to bat at 145 or 150 at a strike rate of 150. But what happens when you're chasing 200? Or what happens when you ideally should be looking to set 220 on a flat pitch?
For all the criticism that KL Rahul has faced over the last 2 years because of his strike rate in the IPL, he has a better strike rate than both Rohit and Virat over the last 2 seasons.
Which is fine. I think his overall career strike rate in the IPL is 136. But the point is, again, it's not just about KL Rahul. It is about a batsman who thinks strike rate is overrated. Now what happens is, you get to, let's say, 40 of 35 balls at a strike rate of 110 or thereabout, right? And then you suddenly accelerate and end up with 80 not out from 55 balls. That sounds like a very, very good, healthy strike rate. But here is the deal.
You would have put pressure on
You would have put pressure on the others. And maybe that period of acceleration from ball 36 to ball 65 or thereabout, or 55, those 20 balls, maybe the game has already gone there. And maybe you needed to score at a slightly higher strike rate than that.
A lot of times with KL Rahul. It's on the flip side, actually.
Exactly.
He starts off well, but then
he starts off slowly. I've seen it.
Yeah, it has happened
and then
both
he
ways.
accelerates.
Yeah.
But it's not just about KL Rahul. You want to see that from the other batsmen as well.
And Rohit Sharma has been, to put it in, again, harsh tone, he has been disappointing with the bat for Mumbai Indians over the last 2 seasons.
He hasn't done much that way. But my point is, it's not... I mean, he's been a fantastic captain.
Yeah.
He's been a brilliant T20 batsman for India. Yeah. To me, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians, watching the brand of cricket from Mumbai Indians is superb.
Yeah.
The way they can come back. But in a World Cup year, how do these batsmen shape up? That's what you want to see.
Yeah. For instance, someone like Surya Kumar Yadav.
Yeah.
He has had a poor series against Australia. A lot of experts said that we can't judge by a player when he get 3 ducks. But there were issues, right? And
it's also overall luck, perhaps. I mean, he's not that bad a batsman, right? He couldn't
definitely.
Ball,
so when the team management has paid faith in you, when they've put faith in you, when they expect you to perform, with Shreyas Iyer's injury, we don't know when he'll come back. It might be Surya Kumar who will play at number 5 in the World Cup as well. So this IPL becomes a very important avenue for him to, get back that bit of confidence. He has always done well in the IPL. It's just about getting that confidence, right? It's just about getting that confidence back and looking good and feeling good about his game so that he can translate into 50 over. Of course, we are talking about different formats, but it's just a confidence game. And if you're getting the backing of the team management, you have to use it, right?
I love how you're talking about a player who's got 3 ducks. I mean, had it been
KL Rahul.
Yeah. Oh, but you would have made a U-turn again.
No, but I have always been a big fan of KL Rahul.
You are a fanboy who just goes around. But here's the deal with Surya Kumar Yadav. When he is playing T20 cricket, it's like a format he owns.
Yes.
He's been criticized for his one day approach, but he started off brilliantly. At the start of his career, he looked so good. He looks compact. He has the wherewithal to do well. It's just that in recent times he struggled. But maybe he's just trying to bring his T20 game into the ODI.
Yeah, and he was also given a test debut, if you remember.
Yeah, but those were under
he didn't perform well in that match as well.
And nobody performed well.
Of course.
In the Indian top order apart from Rohit Sharma. But that's the problem. I think he's expected to become Surya, the T20 cricketer, in the ODI format as well.
Exactly.
Can he become Surya, the one-day player as well?
Exactly. There should be a definite role for him.
Yes, and all that comparison with AB de Villiers. He's a legend who's played 3 formats.
Yeah.
But in test matches, he was a different guy altogether. I mean,
Absolutely.
He could block you.
You remember that marathon from Faf and
AB? And 2 of the most aggressive cricketers of that generation. So he could do that.
Yeah.
He could also take his 1s and 2s in the one-day format, and he could also open up.
Yeah.
Now, you have to perhaps... suddenly you have...
You've rightly put it right. It should not be the Surya Kumar template across all formats.
Exactly. So
it should be Surya Kumar fitting into different templates. Right?
Exactly. And as much as I believe that, you need to be assertive in the one-day format also, I think India is being found wanting constantly there. You're scoring those big runs against understrength bowling attacks in your own conditions. I don't think that's going to... That tells you too much about their World Cup preparation as well. It's in those pressure situations when you're batting first, when you know that it's a do-or-die situation, and you're in the World Cup quarterfinal or maybe
70,000 people are watching.
Exactly, and not just that. It's just that World Cup is at stake.
Yes.
Where can you pull that off? Look at the way England have done that.
Yeah.
Look at the way New Zealand can do it. Look at the Australian capabilities. So, a lot of things that you need to put in perspective.
So from going by what you're saying, I think you'll only keep an eye on what the Indian top order batters are
not
doing.
Just that, not just the Indian top order. I would also want to see what the standby cricketers are doing. I mean, that's why I'm so disappointed with Rajat Patidar.
Yes.
His unfortunate injury, not being available for the first.
Do you think Sanju Samson can sneak into the ODI?
I will really keep an eye on that, as well as Rahul Tripathi. So some of those batsmen, you really want to see how they do. Shubman Gill, I'm very excited for him. Obviously, he's etched his name in that team sheet. with performances across formats.
Sorry to interrupt you. If you were to name 3 backup players whom you would keep an eye on, backup batters,
Sanju,
in the IPL,
Rahul Tripathi, and Patidar when he comes back.
Okay.
These 3 I'm very excited about because now they have been around the Indian dressing room. Samson has played a few. Rahul Tripathi.
This in terms of the ODI World Cup at the end of the year.
In terms of the ODI World Cup, because even last year, I again on a few of my shows on the Sledging Room, and I'd written a column and said that look, India need to move beyond Rohit and Kohli in the T20 format. Not immediately. Somebody suggested that look, it's too close to the World Cup.
They were not picked for the Sri Lanka and New Zealand series, but they still retained their A+ contract.
Exactly. Which is not giving you much, but it could also it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Exactly. And also these contracts are from last year to the mid of this year, right?
Exactly.
From October to August or August to October, something like that.
Right, exactly.
But if you ask me to name those 3 players, I would definitely put Prithvi Shaw in there.
But Prithvi Shaw as a backup opener?
Ishan Kishan, Shikhar Dhawan. That is one problem for him. Even Saurav Ganguly.
Yeah.
Today, Saurav Ganguly was speaking to a reputed newspaper, and he said that that Prithvi Shaw can find his place in this side, but depends on the spot.
I mean, look, he has to come out and open.
Yeah.
But the problem is with the middle order. I don't think the problem is with the Indian opening lineup.
Yeah. That's
because
also right.
Rohit Sharma's definite. It's a definite go. Shubman Gill has been fantastic, and you just need a backup opener, obviously, for the World Cup.
Shikhar Dhawan.
Again, depends on how he goes. I wouldn't put age as a factor there.
Yeah.
So looks super fit.
Exactly.
He can score runs.
He's the captain of Punjab Kings also.
Captain of the Punjab Kings. Yeah. So, but it's also about the runs and I think the strike rate should not. I'll keep coming back to it. I'm obsessed with it because of the way we approach different tournaments.
I think you should put a T-shirt from throughout the IPL. Strike rate is not overrated.
Strike rate, the buzzword. Not overrated. Do not
should be order one.
Dhoni can show you a little bit about strike rate issues.
For Dhoni, it's not about runs. It's not about strike rate. It's about just creating that vibe.
There speaks the Chennai boy.
Yeah, no.
Tala.
Why do you need runs and strike rate from Dhoni?
What do you need from Tala? Just a wave of the hand and chip out,
steer the team. If he sets off a foot on the ground,
superb captain. I mean, that the way that guy can read games, it's just unbelievable.
You have narrated that quite a few times when at the World Cup when he was seeing the boundary angles,
Not at the World Cup. Basically, I've seen him in South Africa in the Champions League T20. So I've observed him, looking up, just trying to figure out the angles of the field, and he reads it. So and. Amazingly, if you go to Johannesburg, the Wanderers, that ground is a bit of a slope, right, and elevated, and different grounds across the world have different angles. Think back of his term as captain, wicketkeeper, how he could plug those holes. There were no easy singles if he wanted to. That is how he was such a good one-day captain. You often felt that he let the game drift in the test format, but in one day cricket, he really knew how to control the game with his spinners. Closing the gaps, not letting it was impossible, and that's how in his tenure you saw some of the most remarkable comebacks for India in the ODI format. Remember that game against South Africa where India had almost lost it, pulled it back somehow. So that is the kind of wily character that he is, and I think you still need someone like him in that setup where you know that there is a leader. But do you think it's a swan song year? Everybody will talk about it throughout the IPL.
Yeah.
But I think, if he's fit enough, if he's ready to go, why should he go?
Yeah. Will the franchise want him to go? No, not at all.
What is CSK without MS Dhoni?
Yeah. That is something that...
it's CSK again, it's a massive brand.
Yeah. But MS has been part of, synonymous to the brand over the years, right? But do you think, will he go or will he not go is a difficult question to answer. But...
Have you seen
CSK
him?
need
Have
him?
You seen him? His muscles, my goodness, you saw those videos and that footage of him coming down the track to hit a few sixes.
But I think that even if he steps down, hangs up his boots as a player, he's going to be associated with CSK.
You would think that. You would suspect he would be.
Director of cricket or whatever.
He's largely stayed away from
but with CSK,
limelight.
he has always been associated.
You can understand that emotional
Indian
connection.
team in the T20 World Cup in 2021, he was offered that role and he accepted it. Right?
Yeah, but I think that was just a one-off. So I don't think he'd want to.
Yeah.
But with the IPL anyway, it's a 2-month-long tournament, so you're only just sparing 2 months from.
Are you seriously expecting Dhoni to score some runs? No,
because you look at the way the CSK lineup is fashioned. Played that remarkable knock against Mumbai Indians last year. But you don't really need him to stand up as your premier batter.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get that from him. Dhoni knows that. He's a very smart captain.
Yeah.
He parks his ego aside. He knows that, look, I'm not going to be the Dhoni of old.
Yeah.
So, and when he needs to, and those are tailor-made situations from him. For him, right? 30 runs in 2.5 overs.
Yes.
In comes MS Dhoni. No Bravo, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll find someone to do it. And Ravindra Jadeja,
Yes.
he's just evolved so much as a batsman over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's going to be.
So do you think Ben Stokes is the heir apparent after that failed succession plan with Ravindra Jadeja last year?
I mean, it's too early to call.
Yeah.
My point is, I will, I can, if I can wager a bet, I'd say you'd see Dhoni with CSK, Dhoni leading CSK for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Including this. But I think you're going to see him back in 2024 as CSK captain. I mean, he's fit.
Yeah.
The franchisee, if I were part of the franchisee management, I would like, no way. Obviously, if Dhoni makes this decision, it's up to him. But I'm neither with the franchisee, nor am I MS Dhoni, so I wouldn't know. But I wouldn't want him to go away like that.
Now look at the reception that he got in Chennai.
Crazy. Or that kind of reception you'd expect with MS Dhoni.
Yeah. For someone like Sachin Tendulkar when he walked out in Wankhede or anywhere in the country, right?
Exactly. But
Raj, one more thing I wanted to ask you about is how will the home games, returning back to home play its part? Like for instance, the last time all teams played at home was in 2019.
Yeah.
And because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the IPL was moved out of India. Even in 2022, last year when it was held only in one state across 4 or 5 venues. So, who do you think will benefit the most with IPL returning to home? As in teams,
I think Chennai immensely. They struggled last year.
Yeah.
But Chennai, Dhoni and his guys have really mastered the art.
Yeah.
You have Ravindra Jadeja, Moeen Ali, that bowling lineup. Delhi to an extent.
Mumbai is also a fortress for
Mumbai Indians.
Yeah. And Archer in those Wankhede wickets.
Without Bumrah, even without Bumrah, it's a very formidable pace bowling lineup.
Yeah.
You saw what happened with how the Pacers dictated terms in the Wankhede ODI between India and Australia. So,
and what about your favorite team, Raj? They have to do well at home.
My so-called favorite team, RCB, they've struggled at home. I mean, look, if you're struggling in home conditions, you've seen successful IPL teams.
There is. Sorry to interrupt you again. There is one, coincidence or something that has over the last 3 seasons. RCB have managed to qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And in none of those seasons...
4 seasons, right?
3 or 4. Okay.
3 or 4, yeah.
3. But in none of those seasons, they played at home.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was coming to. And look at the most successful IPL teams. MI, CSK.
KKR.
Even with KKR,
right?
They have made it a habit of winning at least... it's a very simple... On paper, it's a very simple theoretical plan. Try and win all your home games.
Yeah.
So 14 points there.
Yeah.
And win 3 games... in other venues, and you're through to the playoffs.
And RCB are going to play 6 of their 7 home games in April.
Exactly. So
we'll get to know by the end of the halfway stages whether we need the calculators.
You've really struggled.
Yeah.
So, maybe Faf du Plessis will have a different way of looking at it.
Played with
Du Plessis hasn't played in Bangalore as an RCB captain, so probably that's going to be different. But, look, we could go on and on about a lot of...
One more before we wrap this up. Do you think Hardik Pandya and Ashish Nehra can emulate the success with Gujarat Titans?
The Gujarat Titans are looking even stronger this year. Yeah. Hardik Pandya is probably even more confident as a leader. He's also led India in the meanwhile.
Yeah. And he has got Kane Williamson this time.
He's got Kane Williamson. I'm saying that middle order is beginning to look extremely, extremely strong. Yeah. And Nehra ji, this guy, I think... I'd want to see him as a T20 coach for definitely. India one day.
And with all of us talking about Hardik Pandya's, potential India captaincy and all that, this IPL might, seal it.
I think he has a good IPL. Look, there was no doubting Hardik Pandya's immense talents as an all-rounder.
You can't call it a fluke, right?
That is not a fluke. Yeah. I heard some people talking about it, top the table comfortably and won the final with such convincing in such a convincing style, beating the inaugural winners of the IPL. You can't call it a fluke. It was incredible to see the way Hardik and Nehra combined and can they replicate that? Well, it's difficult. Not too many teams have defended.
Yes.
I think CSK have been the only team to defend their IPL title in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I hope not. But
Mumbai,
I don't think Mumbai have ever won it in consecutive years.
2020.
No. So 2020 Delhi. No, sorry. 2020 was Mumbai. 2021 was CSK.
Right? 2019 also Mumbai. Yeah,
So
they also
Mumbai
defended.
must have also defended
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But I would not put it beyond this team management that has Hardik Pandya, Ashish Nehra, and add Williamson to that mix.
Before we go, Chennai Super Kings, statistically, they've always bounced back after a poor season.
Yes.
16-17, they were suspended. 2018, they come to win the IPL. 2019, runners-up.
Lost the final.
2020, remember what a horrid time they had.
Yeah.
I think they were last or second last.
Yeah.
And 2021, they came back and won the title. 2022, they finished second last. I mean, it's just statistics.
Maybe
right?
Dhoni goes out with a trophy.
Why, as a CSK fan, would you want him to go out? I don't want Dhoni to go out.
I want to
You're
see
a CSK
what
fan.
I want to see what CSK do after Dhoni. Maybe
Let's
after a
wait.
couple
I
of
think
years,
you'd wait for a couple of years
couple
to
more
find
years.
that out.
Yeah.
To find that out. But
Before going,
before going. You are so keyed up for the IPL. Yeah.
If you have to pick one team that you're going to keenly follow, that you're very excited about following, you've said that it doesn't matter to you, but if you're going to follow one team, who would that be?
It will be CSK this year.
CSK.
It'll be CSK this year because MS Dhoni is one of my all-time favorites. All-time favorites. And by favorites, I mean I put him up with Steve Waugh, Brian Lara, Tendulkar, Vaughan, Wasim Akram. He's that kind of a figure as far as my cricket list is concerned because of his captaincy and because of what he's achieved as a leader and what he's achieved as a limited overs batsman in an era when not too many wicketkeeper batsmen batted like that. Of course, Adam Gilchrist laid the way, but yeah, for me, it's CSK. CSK for you too.
No, Gujarat
and the
Titans.
secret RCB.
Gujarat Titans.
Okay. For Hardik Pandya and for
Hardik Pandya. And I love Ashish Nehra as a coach. So I want to get those one-liners.
I like Ashish Nehra. I quite like that guy. Yeah. But yeah,
Zyada much socho
khelo.
Simple.
On a piece of paper, he has his strategies and team sheet ready. So, but yeah, I mean, it's up to also our listeners and our viewers to please reach out to us on pods@indiatoday.com and do ping us on 8588966996. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you are, please do rate us and leave comments and tell us whether you think GT can defend the title or whether CSK can come and equal
RCB can end their title.
Or can RCB end the title drought?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all that we have for now. Please do join us next week because this IPL is going to be something that will come back to you every week on the Sledging Room with lots of analysis, heated debates, and stats and facts. Facts. With Akshay around, I can't promise a lot of facts, but yeah. Thank you. You are on India Today Podcasts, and you are in the Sledging Room.